So I've been sitting here since Saturday,
Not breathing, I might add.
just waiting for the next thing. And then I realized, I don't know, probably about noonish on Monday.
Yep.
Yeah, not the brightest tree with a bulb.
Mm.
We're what? As long as we're on Tuesday already. Hi. Welcome to This Is Truly News. If you like this, please like, subscribe, and follow us. That would be just swell. If you have some sort of comment, be it a marvelous ode to our approach to news or ripping us a new one, either way, you can leave it right there where you found it. If it's pithy, if it's a little bit longer, or say you have a story you want to share, or you just have a question, comment, conundrum, or snark that takes more time, TITR@netradio.network. Oh, thank God.
This is True, Really News with Scott Combs and Tony Vercanis. All the news you're about to hear is true,
Really?
as far as you know.
Tone, you may have to have a talk with Jessica Thompson.
Miss Jessica, why?
From Patch.com via Jessica
Yes.
Thompson. Prospect Park, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
The woman known by millions across social media as the Delco Pooper.
No kidding?
Yeah. Has been arrested after a bizarre road rage incident a few days ago.
Oh, did it hit the fan?
Well, it certainly hit the hood.
Well, the fan's right under that. So.
Christina Solometto, 44, of Ridley Park, has been charged with indecent exposure, disorderly conduct, depositing waste on a highway, and related counts.
Huh. Ain't that a rascal?
Now, to be fair, Jessica sent this story to me, but I had already seen the video.
Uh-oh.
The incident occurred on the evening of April 29th on the 4th Street near Madison Avenue in Prospect Park. The graphic video, which is, I mean, it's pretty graphic, which has spread wildly around the internet in various shapes and forms, shows a woman police say is Solometto get out at the intersection while another vehicle stopped behind her, honks at her. Police says Solometto thought the driver was following her, following a road rage confrontation earlier. The video then shows, and I can corroborate this because I've seen at least two angles of this, her getting out of her car, striding up to the front of the other vehicle, and quickly defecating a large amount of feces on the hood. It's like a scattergun shot. Sort of a, and it's all over. Honestly, it looks like she'd had some baby food. Solometto has been arrested.
Hang on.
What?
Ew. All right, carry on.
Preliminary hearing is forthcoming.
I'll bet it is. Hey, Florida story. Not a Florida man, though.
Does it go along with this?
No.
Thanks, Jess, by the way.
Yeah, thanks, Jess. Enabler. A cop from the Sunshine State recently learned the hard way just how dangerous and irate and, well, intoxicated Florida woman can be.
Oh, my.
The ossifer was sadly called to a local bar where a woman was refusing to pay her tab. Not exactly, well, let me tell you. Cops got there. They found Rachel King, who's 32.
She should know better by now.
Not a kid.
Right.
Heavily intoxicated. Had racked up a nearly $100 bar bill, which she claimed she didn't have the cash to pay for, and the bar wouldn't accept her Venmo.
Was she still standing?
Apparently.
Those drinks must be horribly expensive.
Well, depends what you're drinking.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
$100 will get you more than a couple shots. So.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, it depends, because I've paid $60 for a shot of Jameson.
Why?
To do it one time.
Why? You're not helping me here.
To do it one time.
Okay.
Same reason I got married.
The situation in the bar almost had a peaceful ending.
How I got 2 kids out of that, I don't know.
Luck of the draw. As another bar patron offered to...
I'm really proud of myself.
I am just not talking to you. I am not going to talk to him. The situation almost had a peaceful ending when another bar patron offered to pay King's bill and she could Venmo him what she owed.
Okay.
Easy peasy, right? However, somewhere during the transaction, King reportedly became agitated and took a swing at one of the officers.
Oh, Lord.
Let's just say the fist connected and the pain
was incredible.
Tremendous. The cop, yes.
Anybody who knows Bill Cosby's albums knows
right where he got hit. And if you've ever taken a bad short hop, guys, yeah, the cop doubled over in agony. Mm-hmm. And, well, let's just say it wasn't the best move because King found herself immediately arrested on her way to jail. Well, she was released from jail after she paid $17,500 bail. I'm not great at math.
Did she pay it with Venmo?
$100 bar bill, $17,500 for bail, which means there's more to come.
Do I know? Okay, how do we?
I'm not sure, but I think
multiply?
That the bar bill would have been cheaper.
Really?
Pretty sure.
Seems close.
By at least 58.
Yeah, well, you know.
And the cop.
Go ahead.
I signed up for this.
On a side note, have you ever seen the cricket batter who the bowler throws him a nasty inside ball and he gets it with the inside of his bat, which directs it directly to his item of interest?
Oh, Ollie.
And you can hear
pain.
As he collapses.
And the pain was
tremendous. Then a little while later, does it again.
No.
Yes. And his remark is, as he's going down, not again.
There's something wrong with this.
After the third one, I think they took him out.
Was he just bad?
I don't know, but it is true.
Was the pitcher gunning for him? Was the pitcher his ex?
Well, no, because the pitcher's trying to knock the sticky off the wicket, or the wicky off the sticket. Is wickying everything to the far side of the moon. You understand? So he's not the target.
No.
The batter kept clipping everything into himself. Like one of those foul tips that goes
Nope,
awry.
I'm going to go with God just didn't like him.
North Korean leader Kim Jong-un's dream of modernizing his country's outdated naval fleet suffered a bit of a setback the other day.
Really?
Well, you may have heard this story, but oh God, it's so lovely. After a much-touted warship crashed into the water following a botched exit from the dock, it remains laying where it crashed. Well, North Korea looks for some face, any face, to save.
We're not saving that face now.
Kim, who witnessed the mishap at the lunch event, lambasted officials for their absolute carelessness, irresponsibility, and unscientific empiricism. I don't even think you can use that word there.
No, but if you use it fast and angry.
Yeah. In causing the, quote, serious...
You want to hear words you shouldn't use? Never mind, go ahead. I got words you shouldn't use.
North Korea's state media has reported on this, which is kind of shocking, frankly. The 41-year-old dictator equated the gaffe to a criminal act, which he would. The unnamed 5,000-ton destroyer... Perhaps the shipyard misunderstood the term destroyer to mean the ship itself. You know, maybe.
That'd be bad.
Anyway, it had been docked at a shipyard in Chongjin, a northeastern port city. As it was pushed sideways toward the water, the ship did not move in parallel. Its hull got crushed and its bow got stranded on the shipway, according to state media. Citing satellite imagery of the shipyard, South Korea's military said the destroyer lay on its side in the water. North Korean state media didn't publish images from the launch or mention any injuries. The warship represents one of Kim's crown jewels in his push to upgrade North Korea's naval fleet. I think we can safely say this may be the most efficient destroyer laying crushed on its side the world has ever seen.
Ever.
New from Kim Jong-un, the pre-destroyed destroyer.
Please, Mr. Kim Jong-un, would you tell me how you're inept without telling me you're inept?
I just love that. And can you, and you know, someone down there just went, as it started, and they went, uh-oh. Oh,
I had a chance to escape with my cousins.
And I didn't. I'd be much better at a gulag.
I have found Alpha News through a friend.
Okay.
It's a Minnesota conservative news organization.
Wow, that
which means weird. All of us now are in the same state, the three of us. They reprinted this story from College Fix.
Are you saying I'm in the same state?
Well, you are, but
I'm
not that state. You're in the state of Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm kind of pretty liberal in my social views. So
you are, and
like insanely liberal.
Which is why you're in Minnesota. The headline reads, UMin, that would be the Golden Gophers, offers course on decolonizing approaches to transgender health. A medical reform group, Do No Harm, says...
Thank you. Let's start there.
But the medical reform group Do No Harm says the course sounds like the result of a prank.
Yep, it sure does.
Its title is Intersectional and Decolonizing Approaches to Transgender Health, and it is part of several graduate degree programs. Leading to my first question, why?
Where are you going to work after graduation?
I guess St. Paul would be part of the legislature somewhere. The fully online 3-credit course is part of the Transgender and Gender Diverse Health Certificate Program and the Masters of Professional Studies in Sexual Health.
I suppose you could be...
They'll be right there in line with the philosophers.
Hey!
What are you? I'm a philosophy major. How about you? I did the transgender and gender thing. Come on, fill out the unemployment papers.
I'll take fries with that.
According...
I was up. You know, you got to be dead more than 200 years before you make any money in philosophy.
At least.
Yeah.
So your great-great-great-grandkids could be okay.
Could, maybe.
If you weren't a jerk or stupid.
If you guessed
but
what
then again, you got a philosophy degree, so... According to the University of Minnesota website, this course... Intersectional Decolonizing Approaches to Transgender Health. This course uses an intersectional approach and examines systemic marginalization of gender-diverse populations. The course also addresses the historical pathologization of diverse gender and sexual identities within healthcare.
Didn't you say isn't it pathology or a pathologization?
Yeah, pathologization.
Right. So what they're arguing is body dysmorphia is not a pathology.
No, they view things as a disease. Anything described as a disease or something else.
Or a mental condition.
But generally, it's labeled that inappropriately or unfairly.
Okay, except for the people who genuinely have it. Right?
It doesn't give me that part.
What do they do with the people who think their arms should be cut off because it's not theirs? I mean, this is where we get a lot of that. That is a
well, when you start, dude. What?
Yes.
When you start indulging delusion, where do you stop?
I don't know. I don't know.
Exactly right.
I do know this, that I feel utterly sorry. I know some transgender folks at our church, and I feel genuinely sorry for the predicament they are in. And man, it's hard, and I wish them no ill.
But mutilating yourself is not the answer.
I don't think so. But they're going to make the decision they got to make, and then I'm going to be there to support them.
And if you're an adult and do that,
yeah,
your choice.
Yep, absolutely. Please don't do it to children.
Ever. Mm-hmm. According to the university website, the course also addressed, I did that, the pathology, how is it?
Pathologization.
That's it. Students are encouraged there to critically assess biases. Students, the mushy-brained folks.
Mushy pea-brained folks.
And they're also critically assess biases and Western assumptions related to gender identity, sexual orientation, sex assigned at birth, and gender expression.
You can certainly.
I have to tell you, the last two paragraphs I've read, if my dad would have read those, he would have died of a stroke.
Maybe he'll be resurrected and do it now.
Do No Harm director of research, Ian Kingsbury, said the description, and I'm quoting now, sounds like the result of a prank. How many leftist buzzwords can you fit into a single course description?
Yeah, that's generally how it seems to.
I mean, when they talked about what transgender healthcare should cover, he was thinking you have to look at the ethical concerns surrounding the ability of minors to provide informed consent. They can't.
Correct.
And should also provide information relevant to clinical practice, which means that there are risks associated with cross-sex hormone therapy and puberty blockers.
Well, and not only that, but the threat that you could, do you want a live son or a dead daughter argument? It goes out the window because the suicide rate doesn't change.
Nope. It does not. That's why there are other professionals that could be called in to help.
Right.
Given the framing of the issue, he said, I'd be shocked if this course meaningfully addressed any topics like the Cass Review, which I believe was the study done by the National Health folks in Britain.
Oh, NIH? Okay. Yeah.
NIH?
No, that's us. That's National Institutes of Health. That's us. So whatever theirs is.
Yeah.
I think the Premier League is what it's called.
The Cass Review basically was a study taken, National Health Service.
Yeah, there we go.
To look at the safety and efficacy of drugs, transgender drugs and surgeries. Mm-hmm. And Dr. Hilary Cass, who obviously authored it, generally warned against their use.
Yeah, I think Europe has got a more mature view of all of this than we do. And I think they've generally done a little better on this.
I agree.
But it's a hard question. For the poor people locked up in this.
Yep.
I can't say enough how sorry I am that their life is like this. I wish it was different.
Given the framing of the issue, I'd be shocked if the course meaningfully addressed the topic like the Cass Review, detransitioners, or the appalling state of medical literature cited to justify pediatric gender medicine.
Yep.
Or child mutilation is what I like to call it.
Well, and that's one where they use the strong arm tactics. They're going to kill themselves if you don't. Well, they might kill themselves if I do.
The rates don't change.
Yeah. If the rates are not changing, then surgical intervention.
Something else needs to happen.
Right.
On the inclusion of decolonizing in the course title and curriculum, Kingsbury said, it's a leftist shibboleth. We just don't use that word enough.
Did you have to look it up?
I did.
What did it say?
A shibboleth.
But what was the definition?
Oh.
You couldn't remember it this long?
Well, I looked it up like an hour ago.
Okay, well, what was I thinking?
A custom, principle, or belief distinguishing a particular class or group of people, especially a long-standing one regarded as outmoded or no longer important. So because we've always had men's and women's, that makes it bad. Anyway, the shibboleth broadly hints at a departure from Western traditions like, the scientific method. It's an immediate indicator that the work doesn't deserve to be taken seriously. Hard to argue. The The university's, this is from the authors of the article, the university's transgender health program doesn't appear to take issue with injecting minors with drugs or removing healthy organs, offering a class called Considerations in the Care of Transgender and Gender Diverse Children and Adolescents.
That's where I have a problem. And most of the country agrees with us on that. You if they're underage,
Yep.
you don't do anything. You wait.
And most scientists, if they're honest, would agree that you can do all of the surgery.
Yep.
But if you're starting a woman and becoming a man, you're still a woman.
Yeah, well, you're still genetically female. Yeah, I agree.
You
with
are.
that. Yeah. Okay.
Which would make you a woman, genetically female. You can dress like a woman.
I feel really manly.
Who's manly? Oh, you feel.
Yes,
Oh, God, it's
I
right.
feel really manly.
Obviously not paying close enough attention here. They did try to get some.
You can tell by the hat.
They did try to ask a question of the professor, Nick Ryder, who's taught the course in the past, or a fellow instructor, Casso?
Okay.
Tammy Casso, or Tamai Casso. But nobody's returned any of the work. And if you check out Professor Ryder's description,
Okay.
I would have to agree with the folks at the Do No Harm place that this is not intended to actually, it's an agenda, not a healthcare thing.
Yeah, it really does sound like an agenda. I would go with that. Absolutely.
Yep.
I would.
Sad.
My conservative brethren have told me something I think I buy.
A DeLorean?
Yes. Maybe 2, and a Tesla truck,
Those are ugly.
and a duck egg.
This is true, really news. Send email to TITR@netradio.network.